Here is a question and answer to just answer some questions I've been asked from clients and different individuals about interspecies communication. The first question is, do all animals have spirit guides? And the answer is yes. Animals have spirit guides and they are typically nature-oriented, but this can change depending on the individual. The next question is, when I talk to an animal, is it like talking to a person, or do I need to limit my vocabulary? And the answer I have is, speak to the animal individual normally as you would anyone else, as everything is translated in a way that both of you will understand. The following question is, how accurate is interspecies communication? My answer is, this truly depends on the communicator and the level of connection and trust they have in their abilities. Just like learning any new language, it can take time to become proficient depending on the person learning. Another person asked, can animals read our minds? My answer is, sort of. Some are more intuitive and psychic than others. All animal individuals can feel and read your energy and intentions. Most are also able to pick up images in your mind or specific things you are thinking of. All animal individuals can feel within a human's mind, but the way they interpret it can change depending on the individual and their connection with that human. The next question is, do animals understand us when we speak? And from my experience, they understand our intentions and can pick up some of our words and phrases. They always feel our energy. Another person asked, how do we let other species know that we are friends and that we won't harm them? I'd recommend sending them unconditional love, be in a relaxed and calm state of mind, and communicate with them. Tell them that you are a friend and someone kind. You can introduce yourself to the individual during communication the same way that you introduce yourself to anyone else. It's common for people to ask, is it best to bury or cremate the body of an animal friend? My response is that I prefer burying the body with biodegradable material in a safe spot in nature. The animal's body should always be given back to nature as they are a being of nature. If they are cremated, I recommend spreading the ashes in nature. If you wish to keep a portion of them, then it is important to ask their spirit for permission. An easy way of doing this is by grounding yourself, then close your eyes and place your hands on your heart chakra and ask, do I have permission to keep some of your ashes? If you feel warmth and uplifted, then the answer is yes. If you feel unsettled or uncomfortable, then the answer is no. You may also experience the answer as yes or no in your mind immediately within 0.5 to 3 seconds. You can also ask using one of the methods shared in this book or follow your intuition. All the videos contain all of the information on communication. I recommend always asking the individual if they prefer to be buried, cremated, or even composted. A question I've been asked commonly as well is, how do I begin my animal communication journey? So how did my journey begin? So I watched a documentary about the animal communicator Anna Breitenbach, and I knew I needed to learn. This documentary is available in resources that I will be providing. I then took a class that I did not enjoy with a different teacher, as Anna was on sabbatical at the time. Finally, I settled on an online class that strengthened my intuition, and later on, I discovered my own methods of communication through downloads during meditation. The next question is, what is the most important piece of advice you could give someone to begin their interspecies communication journey? My answer is, trust yourself. It may not feel as different as you may expect. It is a natural gift that all life is born with, and it may feel quite normal once you learn how to use this gift that you were born with, similarly to talking to anyone. The next question is, can you turn off communication abilities, or do you just listen in on animals all the time? So I do have the ability to turn off verbal receiving of communication, but I always feel the emotions of animal individuals no matter where I am. The cleaner my diet is, the more information I naturally pick up without trying, but this doesn't bother me. And following up, how do you know you're receiving information from the animal individual and not just your own mind? So over time you will notice the difference. At first it may seem unclear in some ways, but the more you practice and trust yourself, the more different the receiving of information will feel from your own thoughts. For some people, the difference may be more subtle than for others. Either way is okay. A common question that's asked is, what food helps communication? And the answer is fruit. It's the only food given from Mother Earth that doesn't require taking. And what food hurts communication? Eating animal bodies, which is considered meat, and their byproducts like dairy and eggs, really hurts communication. If you're eating suffering and exploitation of animal individuals, it can affect communication deeply, as they can feel the actions that you're committing. The next question is, do all animals have the ability to communicate with us? And the answer is yes. They are all born with it, as we are, and it is activated immediately at birth. We never forget how to use it, we as in the animal kingdom. And how do animal individuals feel about their names? From my experience, some enjoy their names and some don't. When communicating with animal individuals, very frequently they have asked what their name means, and sometimes they may ask for a different name. And also some question that people ask me, do I offer questions? Do I offer sessions? Yes, I primarily work with natural life, wildlife, and farmed animals, but sometimes I'll also provide sessions for companion animals. I offer a sliding scale model so that everyone's able to receive a session. And I do offer distance and in-person sessions, but every communicator is different. I even offer private and group classes on learning how to communicate with all life. Next question is sending a dead animal individual's body to science negative? Yes, almost always, as their body belongs in nature, not a lab. You can always speak to the animal's spirit about this and ask for their permission, but the majority of the time the answer will be no. Next, what should I do if I have a hard time connecting to an animal individual in a stressful situation? Try grounding yourself and do a relaxed and centering meditation. Calming yourself is very important. You can also ask another communicator for help or just send the animal individual unconditional love energy. And this question's a little funny because of the answer. What is the most surprising thing an animal has said to you? I've been told a few times that I would be more attractive if I had fur or feathers and that I look weird the way I am, but that they love me even though I looked weird. What is the hardest thing about interspecies communication? Seeing from the animal individual's perspective when they have gone through a lot of abuse. Seeing from the perspective of farmed animals is the most heartbreaking. It is hard not to cry from all that they tell me, show me, and the feelings they share. The hardest is when they ask me to help them or their family, but their family is about to be killed for meat or has already been killed. So what does it exactly feel like to communicate? It feels natural for me, like speaking to a friend that I trust and have known since childhood. It feels gentle and heartwarming. I always feel understood and accepted by the individual. And the follow-up question, do you hear them speaking in English? Or is it a communication unique and different for each individual? I typically have it automatically translated into a mixture of full English sentences, images, visuals, and feelings. It is different for every individual, but typically a mix of hearing, feeling, and visuals are the same. Next, what is the most important thing you have learned from other species? Unconditional love energy is everywhere and everyone. All humans need to do is tap into it. Compassion and forgiveness are essential and necessary for survival. Every individual feels, and their feelings and right to live in peace should be respected. Another question is, are some people more likely to be able to develop these abilities than others? Everyone is born with these abilities. Some people do not trust themselves to use it, even if they have learned how to. Similar to knowing the concept of how to swim, yet not trusting yourself to do it without floaties. Everyone can tap into their birth abilities if they have an open mind and heart. What is the best way to start communication learning? Build intuition. Learn how to be a listener. Change your lifestyle to cut out animal exploitation foods. Let go of fear and misconceptions about animals and learn how to trust yourself. The next question is, why are some messages from animal individuals more spiritual and other messages more primal and instinctual? Sometimes the soul or spirit of the animal individual will share messages with you, and other times the conscious mind of this individual will share messages. Could also be a combination similar to humans. Can you use the same methods of communication for humans? Yes. Humans are mammals. We are animals. I have been hired before to connect with nonverbal humans and young children to ask questions and convey information. Their responses have been full, honest, and profound. And the final question, is there a shorter way to call upon protection, love, guidance, and support? Yes, you can just say, I call upon protection, love, guidance, and support from Source Love, as Source Love embodies all. And if you have any other questions, you can feel free to email me, or you can add a comment with your question, and I'd be happy to get back to you. Thank you, and love on.